And welcome back to Hannity. And we're only 5 days away from the South Carolina Republican primary, and Senator Marco Rubio is gaining momentum after recently picking up two key endorsements out of the Palmetto State. Joining us now, 2016 Republican presidential candidate, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, along with South Carolina Congressman Trey Gowdy and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Both have endorsed Marco Rubio for president. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Welcome. I'm welcome in your state, Congressman and Senator. Good to see you all.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Rubio, let's start with, it's gotten very heated. We played a tape earlier tonight. Both you and Trump going after Ted Cruz, both used the word liar. South Carolina is known for its tough politics. Where do you stand with all these other candidates? Is it now gloves off time?
No, I just don't. I mean, I think Ted over the last few weeks has shown a propensity to say things that simply aren't true. And when you say something that's not true and you know it's not true, it's called a lie. And I just have a problem with it. He's not telling the truth about marriage. He's not telling the truth about the issue of Planned Parenthood, on my stance on life. So this is a problem, and we need to clarify it because it's important for voters to know truth. And so when someone says something about me that's not true and does so repeatedly, as he did, for example, to Ben Carson when he paid for these robocalls to go into Iowa and say that he was dropping out of the race, it becomes a disturbing pattern. And so I've addressed that and will continue to, because it's an important factor in the race. Other than that, I'm going to remain focused on what this election should be about, which is how do we reverse the damage that this president is doing to this country.
Well said. Senator Scott, your popularity in this state is like 80%. You now have endorsed Senator Rubio. Why'd you pick Senator Rubio over the other candidates?
Well, I had the good fortune of hosting 12 of the presidential candidates in a one-on-one forum. And without any question, head and shoulders above the other 11 candidates was Marco Rubio. When I think about the fact that my brother is a colonel in the Air Force, I think about the guy I want leading this country on day one as commander-in-chief, my answer was simply Marco Rubio. When I think about understanding and appreciating how to get this economy, the stagnant economy that's having negative impact on so many middle-income families, who best to resurrect this notion of economic growth? Marco Rubio. And when I think about a conservative, not just a Republican, but a conservative who can inspire a new generation of voters, Marco Rubio. Easy choice for me.
Congressman, I want to go to your prosecutorial mind, and you are obviously very popular in the conservative community all across the country. And you made the choice as well. I mean, you're two of the most popular politicians here in South Carolina. What was the reasoning behind your endorsement?
Well, Sean, thank you for the compliment. Marco Rubio is as conservative as anybody in this race. And I sit there and think his heritage score is higher than both mine and Tim's. Tim may not want me saying that on national television, but Marco Rubio is as conservative as anybody in the race. So you have a conservative who communicates our message in a hopeful, aspirational, therefore persuasive way, and he can win in November. And we got a vivid reminder Saturday, Sean, and I'm sure you've talked about it and thought about it, the passing of Justice Scalia. Our next president is going to make one, maybe two, possibly three Supreme Court nominations. And so I want to win in November. And when you have a principled conservative who can win, it made it pretty easy for me.
Senator Rubio and Senator Scott. Senator Rubio, I'll let you respond first. Do you agree with Mitch McConnell? We have not had a confirmation hearing for a Supreme Court justice in over 80 years. Do you think this should be a referendum for the people of this country in this election, and the Senate should not go forward with any appointment of President Obama?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. In fact, in the last year of a presidency, we don't even, at some point, we stopped doing appellate judges. We have to remember, this isn't a lifetime appointment. I mean, this person could theoretically be there until the day they die. There's no way to remove a Supreme Court justice unless you impeach him for bad behavior. And so the bottom line is the balance of the court is at stake. Justice Scalia is one of the finest, if not the finest, jurist in defense of the original meaning of the Constitution we've ever had. He needs to be replaced with someone just like that. Barack Obama's not going to do that. But more importantly, it isn't fair to the American people. They can function with 8 justices. Their term ends in the middle part of this year. Then we're going to have an election in November where the voters are going to get to weigh in on what kind of justice they want by casting their vote for the right president. And then, as I believe I'll be president, we're going to appoint someone to fill that vacancy that's like Justice Scalia.
I concur without any question. I'd probably say simply, absolutely, positively, we need to make sure that the next president and not the current president appoints the next Supreme Court justice.
Senator Scott, do you think that the Republicans in the Senate, there's been a lot of criticism not using the power of the purse, for example, in the House on Obamacare, issues involving the president's executive amnesty, for example. Are you confident that Republican senators will hold the line on this issue?
I've been talking to Republican senators all week long. There's no doubt in my mind that without any question, we will hold the line and make sure that the next president is in the position to appoint the next Supreme Court justice, and hopefully 2 more, because it is so important that we maintain this equilibrium that we've had for the last several years on the court. That means that we need to have a juggernaut of a conservative to replace Scalia.